Hello everyone, I'm Krasia Tasio, and this is my analysis of the week to come. We will be looking at the week and the celestial configurations day by day. First, I'll make an overview. And first, I hope that you're very positive and that you remain to actually make a very good use to benefit from the situation now for your own spiritual growth, and that you don't allow to be manipulated by media and all other sources. I believe that what is given to us right now is just an opportunity for our spiritual growth. Such events always have such purpose, and if we realize this, we will only benefit. So, what is happening this week? First, this first lunar crescent, which happened on the 24th of April, is also forming is the start of the new lunar month, which will be the month of May, but it starts a bit earlier. But you know that we follow the path of the moon when we're describing the celestial events and what to expect from them, how they will manifest in our lives. So we're having the first lunar crescent in the very last degree of Aries. This is not very beneficial. This is not yet promising harmonious month, but is promising a month where we can structure ourselves, our thoughts, and learn a lot, because this is the section of Aries which is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is all about structure. Now, Saturn is also about knowledge, about karma, learning the lessons, realizing the truth. And this is also the beginning of the week. This is how the week will be looking like, not only the month. I'm going to make a separate video about the month. And then we'll be looking how the month will be influencing the 12 ascendants. What is happening in the beginning of the week? The week starts with the third lunar day. And the third lunar day actually is very nice. The moon conjoined Venus, beautiful evening star, shining bright on the sky in Taurus, and conjoined the star Rigel, the star from the belt of Orion, the star of money. So this looks good for the finances. It's not that bad. On 3rd of May, we will be having Jupiter and Saturn, which will be preparing for their stationary phase. So they're in the so-called phase, morning station 7, which would say that after 7 days, they will be stationary. Already, you can feel them slowing down. They are not good when they slow down, because they're slowing down towards stationary phase, and after the stationary phase is over, which will be next week, they will be stationary. Not this week, they will be retrograding. And when they are retrograde, this is not very good. I will describe this in a separate, very detailed video, but just to give you indication, they're slowing down things. Oftentimes, they influence the markets not in a positive way, because Saturn is not associated with positive market outcomes. And when retrograde, he's slowing down our lives, reminding us what was before when he was in Sagittarius, for example. So we will be having some challenges, and it will be starting already 3rd of May, when Saturn and Jupiter will be retrograde. Will be preparing to their stationary phase before becoming retrograde. We also have Pluto stationary already. Pluto is stationary. Pluto stationary depends how Pluto is placed in people's horoscopes. But Pluto stationary is stubborn. He wants necessarily to give us the lessons in the hard way. In the sign of Capricorn, he's very much in the sign of Sagittarius, he's very much associated with our philosophical and belief system, and this is where we need to stay. This is where we need to. This is what he's trying to tell us. Learn the lesson now. View the circumstances from very philosophical point of view. Search to the core. Because Pluto is all about depth and deep, deep, deep knowledge, secrecy. he's telling us to, you know, to benefit from this, to be very, very intuitive, philosophical, and to seek the truth, because I can tell you that Pluto is also associated with the truth. Some ancient teachers say that if we lie, we actually can't imagine how serious the punishment of Pluto is, not even Saturn, who is also, of course, has to do with the moral values. So, of course, Pluto is the secret governments, and what is going on there is beyond secrecy, and it's about us learning the truth, investigating, researching, using our intuition, and really rich in depth. And yes, beautiful Venus is with the moon, and Venus is still in Taurus, and she's the savior, because this week we're having Jupiter, Saturn, Mars together, and Venus is looking at them, and she's creating the trine. Without her, this would have been devastating, but I can tell you that it isn't, because she's there. With her beauty and power, she's trining them and creating harmonious aspect, and that is why we don't experience this so hard as it is supposed to be. Now the sun is still and will be this week also exalted in Aries. Beautiful, appropriate timing for those of you who love to gather herbs or to do just gardening or any solar, you know, magical, beautiful rituals to welcome the sun. These are the most powerful solar rays. Actually, every time is good to welcome the sun, but now it's beautiful and powerful. So what to expect from this week? It's not going to be harmonious, no, but there is no bad and good in the universe. It is all about wisdom, love, and of course consciousness. So from this perspective, it is very beautiful, because only if you look at Venus, this is amazing beauty, and only if you manage to, you know, the more we look at her in the evenings, the more, the easier we connect, the more we connect, and then it is becoming really very beautiful experience. So let's start with Monday, 27th of April, 3rd lunar day. So what we have is day of the moon. The moon is ruling the day. So yes, the moon exalted, gorgeous for enhancing your intuition, do your beautiful meditations, and no benevolent white practices of spirituality. And because the day is ruled by the moon, well, this day is not very appropriate for medical procedures, but for some it could be, if they're not invasive. For gardening, seeding, or planting, now it is great when the moon is waxing, you can do. It's not very appropriate to remove the weeds, but it is really, now is the time to do the first steps in your gardening or agriculture. It will be really nice. Which vegetables? Maybe the leafy ones. Flowers also, because it's Taurus. And also, yeah, the leafy vegetables. Yes, flowers, trees. Beautiful, beautiful time. And you will be rewarded afterwards. So what else this is the day of the moon, and it is, of course, when we know moon. What is the moon? White, blue, a color, silver, moon foods. Always rice come to me as a first choice, but also some of the beans are partially ruled by moon and Saturn. Lemons, supporting your immune system. Wonderful day for this. And also beauty procedures. Wonderful, because the moon and Venus are both in Taurus. Financially, the day doesn't look bad at all. And also, what else can we do on this day? Well, it's not bad for the finances at all. Even some new beginnings can be nicely done. Like if you're having something that you start related to beauty, or showing your design work, all this can be supported during this day, because it's just a beautiful configuration on the sky. And let's see what is happening on Tuesday, 28th of April, 4th lunar day. Now the 4th lunar day is always very powerful. The 4th lunar day is the day when the ancients would crown the kings, super powerful energies of the fourth lunar day. And also the day is ruled by Mars. Mars is super powerful in Capricorn, in Saturn in term, very, very, it's good that very, how you say this, very, he can be very productive and can be very, yes, very, very productive in terms of organizing our activities. This day, when it's ruled by Mars, and when Mars is so powerful and not very, very nice, it's good that we are careful when driving, for example, just careful not to get involved into risky situations. But the day actually is not that bad, but still Mars is in Saturn in term, super powerful, and Mars is receiving the trine from Venus, which is always softening and always like helping and fixing the situation. This is the role of Venus now. The moon is in Gemini and in a very powerful degree of money, of knowledge, and these are also degrees which are associated with where we are having the point of the summer solstice. Powerful degrees. What powerful degrees of what? Knowledge, studying, sharing your knowledge. To launch new media project or project related to education is not that advisable because Mercury is not in the appropriate phase. He will be though end of May, when I will be making also powerful Mercurian talismans, because then Mercury will be visible, but not just visible. He will be visible in his own placement in Gemini. But this is the day ruled by Mars. Surgical interventions, not to study, yes, share your knowledge, yes, but not to, not really to launch new media initiatives or new businesses. So Mars, what is the day of Mars? Mars loves if we wear red, orange, if we eat chilies, garlics, gingers, all this spicy stuff. It's all about Mars. Gemstones, garnet, beautiful, beautiful garnet, which was loved by the ancients. Red coral, the natural one, not the ones that are fake nowadays. Okay, and now let's see what is happening on Wednesday. Fifth lunar day, also powerful, beautiful, very potent lunar day. The moon is approaching Castor, the star, the very, very spiritual star of Gemini. Star of spirituality, literally. It is the Castor in the ancient Babylon. You know, you had Gilgamesh and Enkidu. These are the two twins, the two great twins on the sky. And Gilgamesh was the Martian one. He was Pollux on the sky. And Castor is Enkidu, the spiritual one, the one that was very innocent before they make him not so innocent. But it is about purity and knowledge. So we can benefit this way. So the day is fine for some medical uninvasive procedures. Of course, for the agriculture is brilliant. Still leafy vegetables, trees. And also this is Wednesday. What is Wednesday? Green or very nice lemony yellow. And on Wednesday, we can definitely study. Definitely this will be do spiritual practices. It's day of Mercury, and we can do media work, yes, when the moon is in Gemini and the days of Mercury. We can do this. We will be rewarded, but like I'm telling you, for new media projects or new businesses, not yet, because Mercury is not yet in this appropriate phase. He will be though end of May, when I will make use of this, like I told you, for the talismans. And this is about Wednesday. Now let's see, Thursday, 30th of April, 6th lunar day. The moon is in the very first degrees of Cancer, and it is Thursday, day ruled by Jupiter. when the moon is in these first degrees of Cancer, we have Procyon, star either of knowledge or star of this that can bring deception. Let's choose to use it for knowledge. This is the star of the scientists. And Mercury is making aspect. The moon is even applying to, actually the moon is applying to aspect with Jupiter opposition, and this is very good. So this is a day which Jupiter will be supporting us, because it's also a day of Jupiter, again for knowledge, but also for work of intuition. Jupiter is in Capricorn. When Jupiter is in Capricorn, when he is associated with this lofty philosophical values, belief system, abundance, in Capricorn, he is very organized, he's different, he's a bit suppressed, but he is in terms of Mercury, associated with knowledge, reviewing the truth, showing us the truth like through a lens. So this is what may happen. This is a day where we can do research, when we can study, and the amount of information that will be revealed to us will be amazing. Like, we will be really rewarded. And this is the day of Jupiter. Jupiter loves yellow, orange, light orange. These are his colors, because also what the foods, of course, should be Jupiterian. Some of the 1 second. So some of the fruits which Jupiter loves, for example, would be the hazel, almond, pineapple. Also, the gemstones, the first choice would be yellow sapphire, golden beryl. What else? Citrine. And the color that you can wear and will bring you joy is this creamy yellow. So this is about Jupiter. And yes, use the day for researching the truth. And when you search on such day, you will find amazing, amazing information. You'll be very pleased. Also, wonderful day for meditation or do spiritual practices. And we all have now a bit more time than usual when we are at home. And this is now, and also like we said, the moon is with Procyon, the star of the researcher, of knowledge. And let's see what is happening on 1st of May. The moon, the 1st of May, 7th lunar day. It's always critical. We may need to be a bit careful. This is the square between the moon and the sun. Critical lunar day. The moon is receiving opposition from Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, not very harmonious. And also the moon is in this cluster on the sky, Persepe, where we're having the nebula of Cancer, stormy degrees. This day, we may need to be careful. What we do, how we drive, not advisable for medical procedures, not advisable for putting ourselves at risk. Gardening, brilliant. For this, brilliant. For spiritual procedures, brilliant. And the day is ruled by Venus. This is very good. And Venus is conjunct Rigel. Good, could be good for the finances, but still we may need to be a little bit careful during this day. And Venus, what she likes: pink, flowers, garnets, not garnets, excuse me, the gemstones, pink stones that you have in mind, like pink quartz, this tourmaline, watermelon tourmalines. There are so many beautiful gemstones of Venus that you can wear. And the colors of Venus, you know, white, beautiful white, beautiful pink. You can dress yourself with the flowers colors and you will feel good. So sweet apple, sweet fruit, sweet food, all this is Venus. Enjoy the day in this way. But because of this opposition of all these planets to, actually it's a big square, T-square happening on the sky on this particular day. So the day is not very harmonious. There is a tension on the sky, and you know what above so below, it's good to be a bit careful. And this is Friday. Let's see, Saturday, 2nd of May, 8th lunar day. The moon is void, of course, is separating from aspect with Mars, which is fine. It's like the bat is behind our back, but it is void, of course, a bit stuck. Stuck would say not much can be expected from this day. It's Saturn day, day of Saturn. there is no bad or good in the universe. Everything is wisdom and love. So from Saturn, we can receive the knowledge of patience. So it's good to know, to acknowledge that it's a day of Saturn. Wear dark blue, black, blue sapphire. In November, I will be making the Saturn talismans, which are amazing. They're for protection. They are truly amazing, but they are also huge responsibility. If we wear Saturn talisman, but we still lie, deviate from the truth, we don't know what is discipline, then such talisman can be harmful. If we know what moral values are, if we don't deviate from them, such talisman can be amazing, and Saturn is really with us. So, day of Saturn. This day is not appropriate for medical procedures. It's not good to expose ourselves to danger. The moon is in degrees where you have the Hydra, astrological star, so of art. So it's good to do this, to study. And yes, philosophical, psychological, spiritual, esoteric studies, brilliant. But to stay away from danger is also brilliant. Agriculture, wonderful. Still, leafy vegetables, flowers, trees. To remove weeds, not very good, because they will come out still. Saturn. Saturn is about these small, tiny, black fruits. He is about the white beans, the black beans, which give to people the strength and support their willpower. Saturn is about to teach us the willpower. And also the black seed oil, black cumin seeds we add to our food. We can add them, especially on Saturday, acknowledging that this is for Saturn. And let's see what is happening on Sunday, 3rd of May. We're having, like I told you, Jupiter, Saturn preparing to become stationary. They are already slowing down. We will see this, how life on Earth will slow down. Finance is everything, unfortunately. But this will make us rethink our values, rethink our belief system, rethink what we know, review the truths that we found in these 2 months now, which were influenced by the conjunctions that we have. First, Saturn, Pluto in December, and now the following conjunction, Saturn, Mars, all these. So we will be able to revisit, review, reevaluate all this. And it's already starting from this 3rd of May, Sunday, 9th lunar day. The moon is beautifully passing through Regulus to give us courage. The day is ruled by the sun, the most beautiful day. The sun is still in Aries. Welcome the sun. Don't forget, the first lunar days are very potent, very powerful. And Mars is also very powerful in his own term, in the about to leave in 2 days Capricorn. Next week, when he enters Aquarius, we're going to have a bit easier time, because Mars is behind. Mars triggered the situation on Earth now. It was like preparing to happen from the previous eclipses. And if you remember in my videos about eclipses, I was telling they're cooking something for us. Something is happening behind our backs. We don't know what. Then I was saying this, when Saturn and Pluto made conjunction, I knew that something is being cooked behind humanity's back. And then Saturn triggered it, and his path we need to follow in order to see how everything is developing. Now, when he leaves Capricorn and enters Aquarius, you will see that slowly things will be a bit easier, and so will be when he's in Pisces. So stay very positive, benefit from these beautiful, interesting times. They're beautiful because everything is created by the Creator. Everything is ruled by God, and everything is given for our benefit, to reach the level of consciousness which we wouldn't achieve to reach otherwise. So comment, write me. You're very welcome to do that under this video, and see you soon when I will be talking about the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, also about these retrograde planets. This week I will be informing you also about this, and if you want to study astrology with us, the link to our school is under this video. And also if you want to see my amazing talismans, which are very powerful, white, benevolent, made while the planets and the stars were very potent and powerful, then also visit my website. Bye bye.